In the dead of night at 2:47 a.m., 71-year-old Anna suddenly collapsed onto her bedroom floor. There was no hint of chest pain, no single harbinger of trouble, just absolute silence, broken only by the sound of her fall. This ominous stillness can make one rethink all established notions of personal well-being. Anna had no idea that her long-standing nightly rituals, repeated day after day, were gradually but steadily increasing her predisposition to stroke. The truth is, her case is far from unique. A significant portion of the elderly population engages in similar actions, often unaware of their potential danger. Perhaps many readers are now thinking, "But I meticulously follow all my doctor's prescriptions. I regularly take my prescribed medications and make an effort to stay physically active." This is precisely why this narrative takes on special significance. Sometimes the core of the problem lies not in inaction, but in actions performed at suboptimal times or in an improper manner. In the context of stroke risk, even the most seemingly insignificant daily habits, especially those associated with sleep, can either provide reliable protection for the brain or, conversely, expose it to serious danger during its period of maximum vulnerability. Further details will be provided on what exactly happened to Anna, what conclusions her treating physicians drew, and what vital information thousands of other elderly individuals now need to learn before their situation becomes irreversible. The focus will be on one very common pre-sleep habit that subtly affects blood circulation, oxygen saturation, and places excessive pressure on aging blood vessels. And, even more crucially, specific recommendations will be presented that can be applied tonight to significantly reduce risk, improve sleep quality, and provide the brain with the protection it rightfully deserves. 1. What happens in your body during sleep? Sleep is inherently meant to be a period of complete rest and comprehensive bodily recovery. However, after reaching 65 years of age, nighttime can transform into a period of maximum vulnerability for the body. This is because several key bodily systems undergo significant changes throughout the night. And, unfortunately, as years pass, these transformations do not always proceed without complications. Here's how it manifests. When a person lies down and falls asleep, their heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and breathing becomes shallower. These processes are an integral part of the body's natural mechanism, aimed at conserving energy and ensuring restorative functions. Nevertheless, in elderly individuals, these changes can sometimes fall outside the normal range. Instead of simply stabilizing, blood pressure can drop to critically low levels, and breathing can become excessively light, especially if snoring or obstructive sleep apnea is present. It is at this moment that the situation becomes potentially dangerous. When lying perfectly flat, the force of gravity no longer aids in the drainage of blood from the brain. For a young body, this circumstance typically poses no threat. However, if a person already has weakened venous walls, hardened arteries, or impaired circulation, this horizontal position can trigger an increase in intracranial pressure. Furthermore, it can lead to a decrease in oxygen levels, especially if the airways are even slightly obstructed. As an illustration, sleep apnea syndrome, which is quite common among older adults and often goes undetected, can be cited. This condition is characterized by brief but repeated pauses in breathing throughout the night, which in turn causes periodic drops in oxygen levels and repeated spikes in blood pressure. According to data provided by the National Heart and Stroke Foundation, such a condition can increase the likelihood of stroke by up to 4 times. Thus, in conditions of alternating episodes of low blood pressure, interrupted sleep, breathing difficulties, and increased strain on the vascular system, a person's brain experiences a kind of extreme test at night, whereas it should be fully resting. And the older a person gets, the harder it is for their body to cope with this continuous stress. 2. 3 smart hydration approaches for nighttime brain protection. Let's now turn to practical solutions. It is well known that adequate hydration plays a key role in maintaining health. However, if a significant portion of fluid intake occurs late in the evening, it can place undue strain on the cardiovascular system, bladder, and most importantly, the brain. especially during sleep. This is why modern medical professionals emphasize not only the volume of fluid consumed, but also the optimal time and method of its intake. Below are 3 simple yet highly effective rules that can significantly improve the situation. Rule 1. Stop fluid intake 90 minutes before bedtime. This is perhaps one of the most accessible and effective steps. By refraining from drinking for an hour and a half before going to bed, you give your kidneys enough time to process the fluid already in your body. This approach significantly reduces the likelihood of waking up at night to use the restroom and minimizes the risk of a sudden drop in blood pressure that can occur when getting up too quickly in the dark. A study published in 2014 in the prestigious Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine convincingly demonstrated that this single change led to a remarkable 47% reduction in nighttime awakenings among older adults. This, in turn, means better quality sleep and a significant reduction in the likelihood of developing conditions that contribute to stroke. Rule 2. Consume the majority of your fluids during the day. The human body absorbs water most efficiently during periods of activity. Therefore, it is recommended to drink most of your daily fluid intake during the morning and daytime hours. Imagine hydration as a savings account. If you postpone replenishing your water balance until just before sleep, unfortunately, it's already too late. St. Jude Medical Center recommends that older adults consume 7 to 9 cups of fluid per day, but strongly advises drinking the majority of this volume before 6 p.m. This way, your body will be optimally hydrated before nighttime rest, rather than during it. Rule 3. Choose smarter drinks for the evening. If you still feel thirsty before bed, absolutely avoid sugary drinks, caffeine, or alcohol. These liquids not only fail to hydrate, but also either overstimulate the nervous system or conversely increase dehydration. Instead, try a gentler option: a small glass of pure water with a pinch of pink Himalayan salt and a few drops of freshly squeezed lemon juice, consumed approximately 2 hours before bed. This combination helps maintain electrolyte balance and reduces dehydration throughout the night, without placing excessive strain on the bladder. These 3 simple habits go beyond mere convenience. Their main goal is to provide reliable protection for your circulatory system, significantly reduce the risk of stroke, and help your body get the full rest it needs. In the next section, we will delve into a minor but extremely important change in your sleep posture that can make your nights even safer. 3. Sleep posture unknowingly increasing your risk. Believe it or not, the way you position yourself in bed at night can directly impact blood circulation, oxygen levels, and pressure within the brain. And for older adults, this aspect takes on unprecedented importance. Many elderly individuals prefer to sleep on their back, mistakenly believing it to be the most natural or comfortable position. However, there is a significant problem here. When a person lies completely flat, the force of gravity no longer aids in the drainage of blood from the brain to the heart. In young people, the body easily copes with this physiological challenge. But after 65, especially with weakened veins or arteries, this position can lead to an undesirable accumulation of pressure inside the skull, which is associated with certain risks. A study published in the Authoritative Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases found that sleeping in a completely flat position increased the risk of nocturnal stroke by 23% in older adults, especially those who suffered from high blood pressure or had circulation problems. Why does this happen? The reason is that lying on your back can exacerbate sleep apnea, reduce oxygen intake, and intensify blood pressure fluctuations throughout the night. So what is a safer sleep position? It is recommended to elevate your head and upper body at an angle of 10 to 30 degrees, using a special wedge pillow or an adjustable mattress. This slight incline promotes more efficient blood drainage from the brain, keeps the airways open, and reduces strain on the cardiovascular system. Additionally, it improves breathing for individuals suffering from snoring or acid reflux. And here's another helpful tip. Sleeping on your side, especially your left side, has been shown to promote brain detoxification and improve blood flow. A study published in the Journal of Neuroscience in 2015 showed that sleeping on the left side optimizes the brain's natural waste removal process, which is critical for reducing the risk of stroke and dementia. Or, is your bedroom putting you at risk without you knowing? You might meticulously follow all recommendations, take prescribed medications, control blood pressure, and make efforts to stay physically active. However, if your bedroom environment isn't conducive to your health, it could be subtly working against you while you sleep. Let's examine 3 often overlooked factors: temperature, lighting, and electronic devices. First, temperature. Many older adults prefer to keep their bedrooms warm. No one likes the feeling of cold feet or stiff joints. But here's what scientific research shows. Warm rooms might feel cozy, but cooler temperatures actually have a beneficial effect on the heart and brain at night. When a room is too warm, the body has to work harder to regulate its temperature. This leads to an increased heart rate and higher blood pressure during sleep. 2 metrics you want to keep stable. A study published in the authoritative journal Lancet found that stroke risk increased on colder nights, especially in homes where the body struggled to adapt to temperature changes. The optimal temperature range for sleep is between 15 and 19 degrees, 59 to 66 Gauss. This range helps reduce blood pressure spikes, ensures deeper sleep, and decreases markers of inflammation. Next, let's talk about blue light. If you use a tablet, phone, or watch TV directly before bed, the blue light emitted by these screens can disrupt more than just your sleep. It suppresses the production of melatonin, a hormone that helps you fall and stay asleep. However, melatonin also has a protective effect on the brain. A study published in Oxidative Medicine and Cellular Longevity showed that lower melatonin levels were associated with greater stroke severity in older adults. So what can you do? Use amber-colored lights in the evening. Turn off screens at least 1 hour before bedtime. If you absolutely must use an electronic device, activate blue light filters or night mode. Finally, consider electronics. Wi-Fi routers, cordless phones, and charging devices located in close proximity to your bed can subtly affect your sleep quality. Some preliminary research indicates a link between electromagnetic interference and poor sleep quality, especially in older, more sensitive individuals. While more research is needed for definitive conclusions, stroke clinics often recommend simple precautions. Put your phone on airplane mode. Turn off smart devices at night and keep all electronics away from your pillow. 5. 3 pre-sleep rituals that help protect your brain while you sleep. Now, let's turn to what you can do directly before bed to support your brain and nervous system health. These 3 simple pre-sleep rituals are inspired by actual methods used in stroke recovery clinics in Canada, Switzerland, and South Korea. And the best part, they are calming, easy to perform, and scientifically supported. Ritual 1. Neurological relaxation. Before getting into bed, dedicate just 5 minutes to gentle movements for your shoulders and neck area. Perform shoulder rolls, 10 times forward, then 10 times backward. Slowly tilt your head from side to side. After that, gently lower your chin to your chest and smoothly raise it back up. Why is this so important? These gentle, targeted movements help stimulate the vagus nerve, which in turn helps calm the body, lower heart rate, and stabilize blood pressure. A study published in 2021 in the authoritative journal Frontiers in Neurology demonstrated that older adults who regularly practiced such pre-sleep mobilization had 17% fewer nocturnal blood pressure spikes. Want to enhance the effectiveness of this ritual? Add deep breathing. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, then slowly exhale for 6 seconds. Ritual 2. Elevate your legs for improved circulation. After a busy day, fluid can accumulate in your legs, causing a feeling of heaviness. To ease the burden on your heart and brain, lie down and rest your legs on several firm pillows or elevate them against a wall for about 5 to 10 minutes. The goal is to have your legs slightly above heart level. This gentle position helps reduce fluid buildup, stimulates lymphatic drainage, and relieves excess strain on the heart. A small study published in the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology showed that older adults who performed this exercise every night experienced improved morning blood pressure, and reduced nocturnal leg cramps within just 2 weeks. Ritual 3. Create a sleep signal for your brain. One of the simplest and most effective ways to support healthy sleep is to create a calming, repetitive signal that your brain will associate with going to sleep. This could be a specific scent, e.g., lavender or chamomile oil, a short soundscape, gentle wave sounds or quiet, relaxing music, or a light tactile procedure, such as a foot massage using magnesium or rosemary oil. The key is to perform this ritual every night. In a South Korean study involving elderly stroke patients, it was found that those who used a consistent sensory cue fell asleep 28% faster and woke up less frequently throughout the night. 6. Drug and supplement combinations that unknowingly increase stroke risk. You trust your medications. Perhaps you even take several dietary supplements recommended by your doctor or a friend. However, there's a harsh reality. Some common combinations, especially when taken in the evening, can subtly increase your stroke risk, and you might not even be aware of it. These effects become even more serious in older adults, as the body processes medications more slowly with age. Let's examine 5 specific combinations that stroke recovery clinics and emergency room doctors frequently identify as potentially dangerous. Combination 1. Blood pressure medications plus diuretics at night. If you take medications like ACE inhibitors or beta blockers before bed, along with a diuretic, such as furosemide, a water pill, it might seem harmless. However, this combination can excessively lower blood pressure during sleep. This condition, known as nocturnal hypotension, can restrict blood flow to the brain in the early morning hours, precisely when strokes are most likely. A study on optimal hypertension treatment showed that older adults who took diuretics at night were twice as likely to experience morning dizziness or fainting. What to do? Discuss with your doctor the possibility of moving your diuretic intake to an earlier time of day and monitor your nighttime blood pressure with a wrist cuff. Combination 2. Sleeping pills plus antihistamines. In an effort to improve sleep, a person might take a sleeping pill and perhaps an allergy medication, such as diphenhydramine. However, both of these drugs slow down nervous system activity, suppress breathing, and can lower oxygen levels throughout the night. In older adults, especially those with undiagnosed sleep apnea, this combination can lead to confusion, falls, or even vascular instability. A study published in Drugs and Aging showed that this combination tripled the risk of stroke-like symptoms in adults over 70. What to do? Whenever possible, use non-pharmacological strategies to improve sleep. If medication is unavoidable, it is highly recommended to ask your doctor to carefully review your entire list of medications. Combination 3. Anticoagulants plus omega-3 or turmeric. If you are taking prescribed anticoagulants, such as warfarin or clopidogrel, be extremely cautious if you also include fish oil or turmeric capsules in your diet. These natural products also have strong blood-thinning effects, and in combination, they can significantly increase the risk of internal bleeding or brain hemorrhages, which can mimic or directly cause a hemorrhagic stroke. A meta-analysis conducted in 2018 warned that this combination is widely underestimated by patients. What to do? Always inform your doctor about any supplements you are taking, even if they seem completely natural. Combination 4. Statins plus grapefruit or grapefruit supplements. You've probably heard that grapefruit juice can affect statins, but the supplement form has an even stronger impact. Grapefruit blocks a specific enzyme responsible for breaking down statins in the liver. This means the drug accumulates in the bloodstream, increasing the risk of toxicity, sudden blood pressure spikes, and excessive vascular strain. What to do? Avoid grapefruit in all its forms unless your doctor confirms it is safe in combination with your specific medication. Combination 5. Antidepressants plus herbal sedatives, such as St. John's wort or CBD. This combination surprises many. If you are taking an antidepressant and then add calming herbal remedies like CBD oil, valerian, or St. John's wort, you risk causing serotonin overload. This can negatively affect your heart rhythm, blood pressure, and brain function, especially during sleep. A 2019 study published in Psychopharmacology warned that older adults are at greater risk of toxicity, even from small amounts of these substances. The point of all the above is not to scare you about medications or supplements. It is to help you check your combinations, ask the necessary questions, and ensure that nothing you are taking is subtly putting negative pressure on your brain or heart. 7. Your brain's night shift. Every night while a person sleeps, their brain doesn't just rest, it actively works. Hidden within the nervous system is the glymphatic system. You can think of it as the brain's cleaning crew. It actively flushes out waste products, removes toxic proteins, reduces inflammation, and even helps repair tiny damages in blood vessels. This process is absolutely essential for preventing stroke, dementia, and cognitive impairment. However, there's a significant problem here. The glymphatic system only functions when a person is in a state of deep, continuous sleep. Now, imagine what happens if your sleep is disrupted. If you wake up to go to the bathroom, toss and turn from discomfort, react to low oxygen levels due to snoring, or suffer from overheating. Each of these circumstances prevents the brain from reaching the stage where the glymphatic system activates. And without its full operation, toxins accumulate, blood vessels remain inflamed, and damage goes unrepaired. In other words, your brain is deprived of the opportunity to heal itself. This is why everything discussed earlier is of colossal importance. Controlling water intake timing, adjusting sleep posture, carefully checking medications, and improving the bedroom environment. This is not just a matter of comfort. It's about providing your brain with the support it needs to perform its crucial nighttime work of protecting you from long-term damage. Stroke risk is not the result of one big mistake. It's the accumulation of many small factors night after night. But there's good news. Every small change you make tonight, whether it's slightly elevating your head, cutting off water earlier, or dropping an extra supplement, gives your brain a better chance to stay healthy. Because sometimes healing doesn't happen in a hospital. Sometimes it happens quietly at home, in your bed, while you sleep. You are taking care of yourself. You are striving to understand what is happening inside your body, and not just passively waiting for problems to arise. You are striving to prevent them from occurring. Such proactive thinking in itself provides a significant advantage. It should be acknowledged that no one anticipates a stroke. Anna, for example, did not expect such a turn of events, being convinced that she was doing everything absolutely correctly. However, the cause of her misfortune was not some fatal blunder. On the contrary, it was the result of a combination of barely noticeable but constantly repeated habits, such as suboptimal timing for water consumption, sleeping on her back, or taking medications in a way that her body could no longer adequately process. This is why the recommendations presented are not intended to instill fear, but rather to empower individuals. This power lies in the conscious application of scientific knowledge, attentive listening to one's body's signals, and the implementation of minor but thoughtful changes that provide reliable protection for the brain and heart, especially at night. Although these changes are not massive, over time they effectively safeguard blood vessels, improve sleep quality, and preserve mental clarity. It is important to remember that stroke prevention does not begin within the walls of an emergency department. Its origins lie in your own bedroom. Tonight can be the starting point where you provide your brain with everything it needs to fully recover, recharge, and maintain its vitality. There is no need to implement all changes at once. It is enough to start with one, the most accessible step. Your future self will undoubtedly express gratitude for the care you have shown.